A stormy night, a life falling apart, and an unexpected knock that changes everything. When Elena Parkar opens the door to Grant Wella, the past returns with a spark strong enough to rewrite her future. Love. Oh. A second chance she never saw coming. Please subscribe to Blind Thoughts and press the bell icon so you never miss our next stories. The night it all came crashing down, San Francisco rain hit my window like handfuls of gravel. I sat cross-legged on the hardwood floor of my apartment, staring at an email that had arrived 2 hours earlier but somehow still didn't feel real. We regret to inform you that due to restructuring, your position has been eliminated, effective immediately. 7 years of loyal work for the design agency, and they dismissed me with a bland sentence and a digital signature. It was the final blow in a season of losses. My father's lingering illness had drained my savings. My relationship with a man I'd believed I'd marry had dissolved in quiet heartbreak, and now my career had vanished overnight. The world outside smelled of wet asphalt and salt from the bay, but inside everything felt airless and thin, like I was breathing through paper. I tried calling my best friend, but the storm knocked out her cell service. The electricity flickered and finally gave up altogether, leaving the room in a dim blue glow from the streetlights. My breath sounded loud against the silence. Then came a knock, sharp, deliberate, and so unexpected it made me flinch. I wasn't expecting anyone. The building's front buzzer hadn't sounded. Another knock. I padded to the door, heart pounding. "Who is it?" I called, my voice trembling. "Elena." A deep male voice, one I hadn't heard in years. I unlatched the deadbolt and cracked the door open. Rain and wind swirled in, carrying the scent of pine and ocean. Standing there, drenched but unmistakable, was Grant Wella, the boy who used to live 3 houses down from me in Mendocino. My first real friend. My first real crush, though I'd never admitted it, not even to myself. I hadn't seen him since high school graduation. "Grant," I whispered, hardly trusting my eyes. He gave a crooked smile, water dripping from his dark hair. I hoped I had the right place. "May I come in before this storm knocks me flat?" I stepped aside, still stunned. He shrugged out of a wet jacket, and for a moment the years fell away. The wiry teenager I remembered had grown into a man with broad shoulders and a quiet confidence that filled the room. "What are you doing here?" I asked, finally finding my voice. "I'm in the city for a project," he said, running a hand through damp hair. "I remembered you moved here after college. Thought I'd take a chance and see if I could find you." The coincidence felt impossible, yet here he was, as real as the storm outside. I made tea on the gas stove while we caught up. He'd become a skilled furniture maker, traveling along the coast for commissions. I told him about my design work, though I left out the layoff until his warm, attentive gaze made hiding impossible. "I'm sorry, Lena," he said softly, using the nickname only he and my dad had ever used. "That's brutal." Something about the way he said it, without pity, just understanding, unraveled me. Hours slipped by. Thunder rumbled like distant drums while we talked about childhood summers on the bluffs, about books we'd both loved, about how neither of us felt entirely at home anywhere lately. By the time the power hummed back to life, I'd almost forgotten it had gone out. The next morning I woke to find a note on my counter in his sure handwriting. "Had to check on a delivery. Let's get coffee tonight. Gee." I stared at it for a long time, a smile tugging at the edges of my exhaustion. That evening we met at a corner cafe, the kind with steamed-up windows and a chalkboard menu. Conversation came easy, too easy. Grant talked about the cedar dining table he was building for a winery client, and the way the Pacific fog sometimes reminded him of our hometown mornings. I admitted how lost I felt, the way every rejection email from a job application chipped at my confidence. "You've always been the most creative person I know," he said, his eyes steady on mine. "If anyone can start over, it's you." His belief in me sparked something I hadn't felt in months. Grant began dropping by often, sometimes with takeout, sometimes just to listen. He repaired a wobbly kitchen chair, replaced a stubborn cabinet hinge, and somehow began fixing parts of me I hadn't realized were broken. We walked along the pier at night, salt wind tangling my hair, his presence warm beside me. One foggy Saturday we drove down Highway 1 to the cliffs near Half Moon Bay. The Pacific spread out like hammered silver under a high moon. We sat on the hood of his truck, our shoulders touching. "I thought I came to the city for a quick project," he said, eyes on the horizon. "But every day I find more reasons to stay." My heart thudded in the quiet between us. "Grant," I began, but he shook his head gently. "You don't have to say anything. I just wanted you to know." The honesty in his voice stirred a warmth that chased the chill from the ocean air. With Grant's steady encouragement, I began to rebuild. Instead of chasing another corporate job, I launched a small freelance design studio. He even helped me sand and refinish a vintage drafting table we found at a salvage shop. My first clients were a local bakery and a boutique hotel in Mendocino. Each project reignited a spark I thought had burned out for good. As the months passed, our friendship deepened into something neither of us tried to name. We spent late evenings cooking in my tiny kitchen, music low, laughter soft. He became my confidant, my anchor, the person who made the world feel wide again. One night, almost a year after that first stormy visit, another squall swept through the city. Rain drummed the windows while I sketched by the warm light of a desk lamp. A knock sounded at the door, firm and familiar. My heart leapt. When I opened it, Grant stood there holding a small cedar box, rain glistening on his jacket. "I made this for you," he said, his voice carrying both nerves and certainty. Inside the box lay a silver ring shaped like a gentle wave. "Elena Parkar," he said, taking my hand. "I came here thinking I'd just see an old friend. But I found the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. Will you let me keep standing by your door, forever?" Tears blurred the room into soft light. "Yes," I whispered, and meant it with every piece of me. I had lost my job, my security, and the tidy map of the life I thought I was supposed to have. But the night Grant Wella knocked on my door, he brought more than love. He reminded me that sometimes everything has to fall apart so something even better can begin. The storm that once felt like an ending became the night the rest of my life began.